January 30th, 2026, and the time is what time?
5:01.
5:01. Roll call for the Board of Directors. Carol?
Carol, Nora.
Hanoi Vila.
Beth Jones.
Chris Rocco.
Great. And let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Moment of silence.
You have to sign it.
What?
You have to sign it.
Okay, Cynthia, you want to come up?
Okay, is this on? Do I need to just leave it?
Here, I'll start your 2-minute clock whenever you're ready.
Okay, but I mean, I just need to, do I need to do anything?
Oh,
else?
is it
The voice
red
can-
or green?
Chris, can you turn
It's
your mic?
nothing.
There's no light on it.
There's no light on it whatsoever?
Yep.
Here, take this. Yeah.
Wait, it's on. I just found the button. I started pressing the button. Wait, it's red, green, red, green, red.
Just use this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, I
I'll
think
just
you and I
stand
are
over here.
sharing because it doesn't work.
Okay, all right. I'm Cynthia Kimball. I'm a resident of this MUD. I'm also the Lakeland Oaks HOA president, and with me is our vice president and our secretary, Vice President Brian Gabbard, and Secretary Sylvia Lopez. And we're here today to just make sure the board is aware. We have been trying to solidify an MOU with the MUD. However, John Leone is non-responsive. So we started this process of asking for cooperation February 14th, 2025, when the announcement went out from the water board saying that they were going to put in a request for proposal for deed violations. So sorry, I didn't mean to say that. So it's about deed violations. So the rest of the MUD is using the tax dollars for deed violations, but we have not been, we've been excluded from that. So again, started in February of last year, so we're quickly coming upon a year. This is the list of all the correspondence between the board requesting conversation, coordination with our management company. We hire one because we don't get paid for our jobs. There's no stipend at all. So we use them for most, to help us handle a lot of our things. So the deadlines come to complete this MOU. So we need to get it done, or we'll need to consult with our attorney on our next step. So thank you. Appreciate the time.
Okay.
Sorry, I have a question. Madam President, may I ask a question?
Yes.
Okay. You said we've not been responsive to your request. Have you consulted or reached out to our attorney?
Our attorney, Greg
No, have you
Garza,
reached out to our attorney, the district attorney?
if you would let me finish my sentence, I think I can answer your question. Is
Go
that
for
okay?
it. Yep,
Okay.
go for it.
Our attorney, Greg Garza, has been in communication with John Leone, trying to reach out and connect. However, He has not been responsive to connecting and completing his MOU. There's been a lot of stallings, a lot of communication, but actually no action has
So
happened.
there has been a response. So there's communication. Our attorneys just have not finalized the process, correct?
He is evading a meeting.
Okay.
Can I ask if
I'll
we
let
can
you know.
discuss, I'm just going to discuss this real quick. We've tried to meet with you 2 times. Nobody showed up both times. We've been in.
That's not
no.
the truth.
Cynthia?
Sorry. Right.
Cynthia,
That's
it's my
not
turn.
the truth.
My turn.
Okay.
So we went to this other office that was with your people. Y'all didn't show, but we did, correct? And then we showed up again, trying again to meet at John Leone's office. We all were there. Nobody showed up again. John Leone did show us the contract that you guys had written up, wanting us to sign. John asked us not to sign that. He did email your lawyer back, and we've not heard a response back. He actually tried to call him again today because I called him saying, do you have an answer for us? He said, I absolutely have not heard one word. So that's where we stand on that. We can do this again next month, but we have to have cooperation that you guys show up when we ask for a meeting, or when you guys have a meeting and you invite us, we need you guys to show up. So one time, you guys didn't show up for your meeting that you asked us to come to. The second one, we had a meeting and y'all didn't show up to that one. So we need to try one more time.
Am I allowed to say anything at this point? or-
No. You said your 2 minutes.
Okay, I just
You
wanna-
shared
I
that
just wanna state
that our
the
lawyer
fact
did
that
not.
There's a lot that's not truthful there, but thank you, I appreciate the time.
Okay, I'm sharing exactly what was shared with us. And so you shared your part, what you think is happening. I've shared
Thank you.
ours.
Appreciate it.
Okay, so we're gonna cross off 10A, because we just talked about it.
Thank you.
If it's okay, if we can take a vote to move up,
Well, hold on, I think you have 2 more people who want to make public comments.
3 more people.
Three more people.
but we don't have enough.
9D, write it down.
Beth, you can,
Excuse me?
9D, write it down. So you
7A
asked me
and B.
about 9D.
9D.
You asked me,
They want to
you
discuss
write it down.
9D. On the agenda.
You wanna try that one more time?
No, I don't.
Go ahead, George. Go ahead.
7A and B.
Okay, Tina, 9D.
I want to bring to this board's attention a serious breakdown of accountability involving Sage Management and the Deeds Committee, currently Beth Jones and Chris Rocco. From May through December 25th, Sage billed the district nearly $57,000. Over $6,000 was for so-called additional services. When residents asked what work was performed, Sage responded to multiple PIA requests, no responsive records. So what authorized these charges? The Deeds Committee says all directives were given verbally, meaning no records exist. Let's be clear. A committee issued off-the-books directives. A contractor billed for undocumented work, and taxpayers paid for it without written authorization. Those invoices were then approved by the Bills and Invoice Committee, Carol Norrell and Chris Rocco, without backup documentation or a single recorded question. So zooming out, no records, verbal directives, rubber stamp payments, which leads to the obvious question the public deserves answered. What is the common denominator here? Chris Rocco? Public money requires transparency, documentation, and oversight. When all 3 are missing, this isn't governance, it's a trust problem. And that trust problem belongs to this board. Receipts are available at education.org.
Can I make a comment? Rest of the board, are y'all happy with how much better the district looks since we started having Sage doing the work?
Over 45 people have improved.
Yes, I know. All the ones that were a problem, that we got all the complaints about, have all been taken care of, and it doesn't look anything like it did before when we didn't have any deed enforcement.
You didn't listen to my comment.
You've had your time to speak. We have a record, okay? Our record, you can drive the district and see the record. Okay, next.
well, I would like to also provide feedback that the only people that consistently complain about the process
Right.
are these 2 sitting
These
here.
2 sitting right here.
I have never heard of anybody in
I
our
have
community
not
coming
either.
into this community complaining about our deed enforcement
Thanks,
process.
No.
Ashley, thanks.
So they do not represent the entirety of this
No,
community.
it's
I
not
think
a
it's really
it's not
important
a
to make that very
representative
clear.
sample. It's 2 disgruntled residents. Next.
Okay, I'm gonna ask that we move up
You've got 2 more residents who wish to speak on public comment.
7A and B, Linda. And Tom, had you figured out what number you want to?
Move 5.
It'll be 9, middle top.
D.
Last month, 4 members of this board adopted a resolution that performs a neat little magic trick. It attempts to make long-standing public finance laws disappear so taxpayer dollars can be used to fund their personal lawsuits. This maneuver came only after every single claim brought by the MUD itself was dismissed with prejudice. When the district struck out, a 3rd amended petition appeared, this time featuring certain board members airing personal grievances in their individual capacities, not district business, personal business. On January 16, 26, Judge Davis ordered the district to pay approximately $120,000 in the defendant's attorney fees. Add that to the roughly $200,000 already spent chasing this litigation, the taxpayers are now more than $300,000 into a lawsuit the courts have already rejected. We've been assured by Hanoi and Beth that if there's ever a recovery, it will be returned to the district. What has not been explained at any meeting is how the district would be repaid for the losses already incurred, because HOPE is not a reimbursement plan. It is also important to recognize that by inserting themselves into this litigation in their individual capacities, board members have assumed personal legal exposure separate from the district. That decision carries consequences beyond the board's authority to mitigate with public funds. Finally, Cole, the current and amended 2026 budget presented alongside the bond counsel contract does not account for the legal expenses tied to this litigation. The court ordered payment defendant's fees or the additional legal costs anticipated through 2026. Transparency and fiscal responsibility require that those costs be disclosed before additional debt is imposed on taxpayers, so residents can understand how the true tax increase resulting from plunging the district into the bond debt. The documents are all available at mudeducation.org, and yes, this relates to audit. She's sitting right here, and I filed the complaint today.
Madam President, may I?
Yes, all right, we're gonna let her make Hanoi have a comment first, sorry.
I just want to make it clear that the numbers she just quoted are completely incorrect.
They
Do
are.
not reflect accounting. Number 2, I want to make it very clear that district court ruled in our favor, both for the issue of assault and false imprisonment. The case has not been dismissed. You are welcome to go into court records and prove and show that the case still stands. The case has not been dismissed. The number she's throwing out and talking about has not been fully determined. That's still in litigation and in process. So I just want to be very clear to you that Mudeducation is not a legitimate website to go to and gain your information. There's a lot of false information and confusing the people of this district. So I encourage you to go to court records. I encourage you to attend our hearings when we have hearings, and I encourage you to go to our website to gain the information you need. Okay? The lawsuit has not been dismissed, and the information presented today, it's not true. That's all I have to say.
We have been assured by our attorney that the funds that Ms. Bob was talking about, that we will seek to be reimbursed by the defendants. And unlike Ms. Bob's previous court action, as this is a repetitive thing on her part, where we did not seek reimbursement of our attorney funds, we've been instructed by our attorneys to consider seeking them this time. And I have a good feeling that the court will understand this to be just further harassment on her part and a continued pattern of harassing the board, and nothing more than a resident who failed to win a seat on the board in the last election, continuing to harass the board.
And now has demonstrated that's running, so
Right.
just want to make that clear.
And that
You
this
sued
happened
us.
before.
You sued us, I didn't sue you. You
No, I
You
was
ha- but you
talking about
have
the last
in the
time
past.
you
That she
sued
took
us.
money.
You sued
The
us,
last
you
time
sued
you
the
sued
district,
us.
and the
My
case
name
was
is
dismissed
Maya.
because
We
you did not
spent,
have
we spent
standing.
$300,000 on
No,
your
you
silly,
didn't. You spent 99,000, I have the records, they're on education.
no, we're,
They're 99,000 grand total. 50,000 for
again,
that.
she's making up
You're
stuff.
trying to blame someone that it was not me, that Beth Jones is not on there.
Okay, all right, can we?
Or is this
Why do they get to talk?
They don't. You all are engaging with them.
I'm not engaging
I
anybody.
have.
Yeah, you are.
I'm
You're the
asking,
one that talked.
Chris,
I'm
sorry.
asking,
No, excuse me.
I'm asking for order from, for the whole room, for all of us. Let's return. We have responded. I don't think it's
I'm not doing
it's.
We have one more speaker
We have
and then
one more, and
we'll
I'll
let you go,
invite
so
him
you
to
can
come
go
up.
home.
Tom, give me 4 minutes, double time.
Actually, he's bringing something so
Oh, okay.
that he doesn't have
I'll
to.
use an assistant advisor
Okay.
for like 2 minutes
Perfect.
to put this over here so you guys can hear.
Thank you. I'm excited to see how this.
I am here to give a crash course in the economics and legalities of deed restriction enforcement. Feel free to contact me at tom@marot.com for any clarifications. The board's only legal justification for enforcing deed restrictions is Texas Water Code, Section 54.237. That statute only authorizes enforcement of existing deed restrictions when failure to enforce them would reduce property tax revenue. Annualized 2025 spending on deed restriction enforcement was $107,000. Assuming the board remains within the proposed 2026 budget of $64,000 and at a tax rate of 27.3 cents, enforcement would need to increase the total taxable value of homes by approximately $23 million to break even, about $15,000 per home. In non-HOA sections, architectural control committees have been disbanded, leaving the district without authority to enforce deed restrictions based on unsightly conditions. Within its legal authority, the board is limited to enforcing vehicles and nuisances. Because genuine nuisances are already addressed through county, state, and water code statutes, vehicles are the only remaining category for deed restriction enforcement. Restrictions are only effective when enforced consistently. Under the water code, the district's only enforcement mechanism is litigation, which makes consistent enforcement impractical. This creates an honor system where some residents bear the burden of compliance while others face limited consequences. Enforcement also reduces property utility. Some residents are forced to give up work and leisure involving trailers or specialized vehicles. Driveways become more crowded, and disabled access to sidewalks is limited. Unless lawsuits over visible vehicles and alleged nuisances increase home values by significantly more than $15,000, this enforcement program is neither economically nor legally justifiable. Fern Bluff MUD exceeded its authority in a deed restriction lawsuit and was ordered to pay attorney's fees. Our district risks the same. Our district is already incurring hundreds of thousands of dollars in legal fees related to the public participation lawsuit, where the judge ordered payment of defendant attorney's fees. Staunch the bleeding. Stop putting us further into debt to fund unjustified lawsuits against residents exercising their legal rights.
You want to talk on that?
Everybody's entitled to their opinion. We go to our attorney and we're just doing what our attorney advises us to do. I don't think there's anything more than we can do.
When you moved into this neighborhood, you agreed to deeds. That's the answer that I have. Okay, let's move on. Okay, we are going to move you up so that you can come speak and go home.
I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Which number is it?
It's gonna be 9A, I'm sorry, 7A.
Okay, thank you. Is this the only one that we have? I guess so.
I've handed out a copy of the audit report to everyone. I'll go through it with you at a relatively high level, but if you have any questions, stop me, we'll try to get those answered for you. But first, just a reminder, the audit's required for regulatory purposes, and that it's required by TCEQ. and required to be submitted to them within 135 days of year end, which is mid-February, so that's why we're here tonight. If you'll turn with me a few pages in the audit report to the page that's on McCall Gibson letterhead. At the top of this page, you'll see the audit opinion. Again, this year, for the fiscal year ended September 30th, 2025, the district received an unmodified opinion, also known as a clean opinion and the best opinion that you can get. Following that, on pages 4 through 7.
Excuse me, and you said the best opinion that we can get?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
On pages 4 through 7 is the management's discussion and analysis, and this provides a good high-level overview of the district's activities for the year ended September 30th. And I would generally recommend that if anyone wants to read anything in an audit report, reading those few pages will give you the biggest bang for your buck. But what we'll do, since we're together tonight, is skip to the financial statements themselves, which begin on pages 9 and 10. And as we talk through the financial statements, we're essentially going to walk through everything that's in that MD&A. So again, those financials begin on pages 9 and 10. This is the district statement and position, also known as your balance sheet, as of September 30th, 2025. I'll start in the left-hand side of these pages on page 9. This is the top side of the balance sheet. And if you start in the left-hand column with your general fund, you'll see that at the end of the year, the general fund had total assets of approximately $6.2 million. Over 93% of that made up of cash and highly liquid cash equivalent investments. This adjustments column is what's known as GASB 34 adjustments, and they're required to take your fund financial statements, put them into a more for-profit view. For your purposes, with regards to assets, what we're doing is we're putting onto the top of the balance sheet approximately $9.6 million of capital assets, which brings us to total asset balance in your statement of net position of that $15,820,431. Page 10 is the bottom side of your balance sheet, if you will. And again, I'll start in the left-hand column with your general fund. You can see that at the end of the year, the district had total liabilities of approximately $934,000. Deferred inflows of resources of approximately $77,000, which just represents uncollected property taxes at the end of the year. And so that brings us down to total fund balance in your general fund there, that $5,179,263. Again, we have to factor in those GASB 34 adjustments and take your fund financial statements into a more for-profit view. And when we do that, you actually come down to a very bottom right-hand number here on page 10, a total net position balance at the end of the year of just under $15 million. Page 12 is your statement of activity. Also could be thought of as an income statement. Again, I'll start in the left-hand column where you can see this year the district brought in revenues of approximately $5.6 million. Had expenditures offsetting those revenues of approximately $4.8 million. So year over year, you had an increase in your general fund balance of just over $791,000. Again, once we factor in those GASB 34 adjustments, which primarily for you all is to depreciate your capital assets, you come down to a year-over-year increase in net position of just under $494,000. Following that are the notes to the financial statements, which just give a little bit more detail and definition into the financials themselves. First few pages of notes just provide insight into the accounting policies required to be followed by the district. There have been no new accounting pronouncements that have come down the pike recently that affect you all, so these are pretty similar to what you all have seen in the past. Page 19, at the top of the page, you all made your last bond payment back in 2023, so you don't have any long-term debt at this point in time, but did just want to point out the bonds authorized by voters in the district that remain out there for issuance, approximately $5.8 million. You've got a detailed discussion on pages 19 and 20 of your cash and investment balances. Takeaways here are that your cash balance was fully covered by either FDIC insurance or other collateral. Your investments, which are solely with tax pool, are both in compliance with your investment policy as well as in compliance with the Public Funds Investment Act. And all of those are requirements for the district to follow. There's a budget to actual for your general fund on page 24. Very bottom right-hand number, you finished the year ahead of budget by over $640,000. And then following that are schedules that are required by the TCEQ. Page 27, towards the bottom right-hand side of this page, you'll see your water accountability ratio, which this year is almost 89%. Just speaks to the operating efficiency of the system. And 89% is actually a little bit higher than it's been the past couple years. And then following that, one more schedule I'd bring to your attention that we haven't already discussed within the audit. Page 33 provides a nice high-level overview of the district's taxes levied and receivable for the year. If you look down that 2024 column heading, which is the 2024 tax year and equates to the 2025 fiscal year we're discussing right now, you'll see that based on a property valuation in the district last year, just over $899 million, you lowered your tax rate to that 27.33 cents, which resulted in a total tax levy of just under $2.5 million. And at the end of the year, you had collected almost 99.5% of the taxes levied. So strong tax collections remain out in the district. In addition to the audit report, I put 2 letters at the back of the audit report. One is what's known as an audit summary letter. Takeaways here that there were no difficulties encountered in performing the audit, and there were no disagreements with management during the course of the audit. The other is what's known as a management letter, and this is the same letter that you all have seen every year when we presented the audit. It pertains to the fact that we prepared the audit report, including the footnotes to the audit report and those conversion entries. Auditing standards back us into a corner presenting this letter to you. What you all do as far as operating and specifically preparing this report is no different than any other district that we work with, or majority of the other districts we work with. So we're not recommending any changes. We're just required to present this letter to you. Like I say, it's the same letter you've seen and reviewed for years. As far as we're concerned, your district operates in a consistent manner with other districts that we work with, in that you contract with consultants and other contractors to provide the day-to-day operations of the district. And had we been made aware of anything else, any other significant deficiencies or material weaknesses with regards to those other consultants or contractors or the way the district is operating, we would have brought that to your attention during the audit and certainly within this letter. But the fact that there are no additional significant deficiencies or material weaknesses can give you some comfort that we did not come across anything.
Thank you.
So in summary, clean audit process and clean audit opinion, which is what you're looking for.
Anybody have any questions?
I don't.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
So with that audit, what I would recommend is, I recommend approving the audit subject to a 5-day review. That just gives me one opportunity to read through it and just to confirm everything. Not everything, but to kind of make sure everything's in line in terms of the legal side. And that's it. And then also authorize us to file it with the TCEQ.
Somebody want to make that motion? I mean, I'll make it.
Okay.
Go for it.
It sounded like Carol was going to. Go ahead.
No, I was just trying to clarify what it was exactly in my head, but go ahead. Go ahead.
After a 5-day review by our attorney, that we're going to submit the audit, and you're asking us to pass a motion to do that?
It's a motion to approve the audit subject to a 5-day review. If we notice anything that doesn't match up with what we have in our files, we'll
Then the
approve the
approval
audit.
is-
And then otherwise, the
Okay.
approval is good, and we'll file it with the TCEQ.
Okay. So I made that motion.
Okay, I'll second the motion.
Anything else? All in favor? Great.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Thank you again. You too.
Thank you, Ashley.
Okay. Bookkeepers report, do we have anybody on the phone? Did they approve everything?
Are we back to four?
Yes, we're at number 4.
The consent agenda.
Yes.
Yes. Well, I will make the motion after review and consultation, committee-wise and with consultants and with all of the documents. I make the motion that we approve the bookkeeping report, the bills, invoices, and pay them.
And I'll second it.
Okay. All in favor? Okay, the next one is the minutes of the October 15th, November 19th, and the 10th of December meetings. I think,
And the 29th.
and that, yeah.
I still need to get
We don't have the
comments
29th
from
with us.
the 29th
No.
meeting, since I wasn't there. Once I get those notes, I'll be able to draft those minutes and give it to you all.
And I am assuming we are not signing October's?
Right, October 15th, I think the statements made there are not consistent with what I said, so I'm going to recommend adjustment on that.
Okay, so we're asking to approve November 19th and
November and December. Yep.
December 15th.
December 15th. Okay, all right.
Anybody have anything with that? Okay, all in favor?
Who makes the motion?
Okay, I'll make a
You
motion,
do.
that's fine.
Second
Make a
by
motion
Carol.
that we approve December 10th
Yeah.
and November 19th of 2025's minutes.
And I second.
Okay, all in favor? Great.
Will you get with me at some point before the next meeting to go over the minutes so we can make sure
Yep,
that it's
we can do that,
accurately? Okay.
Okay, engineers report.
All right. The first item is the status of your cleaning and televising project. Like we reported last month, the work is done, the reports that we've received are adequate. We have been in contact with the contractor to try to get the final documentation, their final pay application and affidavits in order so that we can recommend final payment and acceptance of the project to you all. Unfortunately, we have not received those from them yet, so we're just going to have to keep this project on the books
You would
until we can
think,
get
you would
that.
think they'd want final payment.
One would assume.
Yeah, okay.
Yep. The other thing that's on our docket is to submit a letter to the TCEQ notifying them that you've completed this work and kind of listing overall level of any deficiencies noted and kind of the plan that you guys have in place, which is to use bond funds to pay for the repair. So we drafted that letter, that's attachment 1 to our report. So we'll be sending that off to the TCEQ Monday. The next item is your lead and copper rule revisions project. So, Chris, if you can.
I talked to somebody today, and the person we need to get this to has retired, but he's still there.
Okay.
He's the owner of the place, but he's not working. I asked him, would he feel comfortable signing this letter? He said he may delegate it, and I'll try to get, he was supposed to call me today before 5.
Okay.
And he didn't, but that's all we got to do.
Well, tell him I'll buy his coffee.
I know.
If I can sit down and get some facts about him so that I can work with Cole to prepare an affidavit that makes sense,
Okay.
and then we can go from there. So if assuming that happens, and that would be submitted to the TCEQ as justification that Anderson Mills sections 1 through 4 could be deemed as non-lead. In that process, we have Infomark has received notification from 3 residents, I believe, that have kind of conducted their own testing on their service lines, which any resident can do. And so I think we received documentation from 1. We're asking for documentation from the other 2 so we can put in our files and then update your inventory. That's
And nobody's had any lead, huh?
no, sir. So that we can update the TCEQ database. So we're just kind of keeping track and working with Infomark on if and when things like that come in. The next item is the status of your lift station rehab project that's under design. That's still in my court to do a final review. As we do our final review and finalize that cost estimate, that will be reflected in your bond application cost summary. Item D is the Infrastructure Committee. We had that meeting on January 13th. The minutes are attachment 2 to this document. And at last month's meeting, you guys authorized us to get going on the sidewalk assessment. Grant and I got that project kicked off internally, and pending any weather hiccups, we will be getting started on kind of our field investigation and walking documentation of all the sidewalks. Part of the contract. Status on your bond application report, that's also in kind of final review. I'll be going back through everything that Grant has prepared. Assuming everything is good, we'll be sending it to your FA and attorney for their review. And any final edits, and then should be ready to go to the TCQ pretty soon. Yes, sir.
Let me go back to C. Did we ever decide whether we're going to pursue a warranty request on the pumps? What was our final decision? Remind me.
You're jumping ahead of me.
I thought that was C.
Sorry, and I forgot. I will print my engineering reports and attachments for y'all next month. I'm sorry about that. So you're asking about the hatch lift station.
Right.
The one that was prepared previously. So we did have a conversation with the contractor. He recognizes that he's still within his 2-year warranty period, regardless of what his subcontractor that supplied the pumps cares to do about the situation. So he was going to make some additional contact with the pump supplier and the pump representative to see if they wanted to belly up to the table to pay for it. If not, he was going to talk to his maintenance bond company and figure out how Liberty Civil can make the district whole.
Great.
I did ask him to try to get me an update on that status by this meeting, and I haven't heard from him today. So,
No surprise.
We've made the notice and it's documented. He did sound and gave the appearance that he was interested in resolving the issue.
Great.
Of course, if that sentiment changes or nothing ever happens, I think I copied Cole on that response just so he had a paper trail, but we'll keep you apprised of that.
Right. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Do you have anything on D.R. Horton?
No, I think.
I have a question. Did
Yes,
you
ma'am.
get the information that we were looking for on, I'm seeing them move further and further down to start the new little highway that we're having on 620. So what is the date for that, for everything to be demolished?
I don't think we got it. We reached, never mind. When I say we, Grant actually did the work.
2028 is what I saw for beginning construction, but I'm not entirely sure about demolition. But that's what I saw there.
So it'll be completed by 2028?
No, construction starting in 2028.
Starts. And that's not demolition, that's actual construction,
That would
right?
be the start of the project.
Yeah. We were kind of wondering when demolition was coming.
Well,
Yeah, because,
I'm assuming
it's
they're not-
coming down. They've been delivering the sand and everything this week, so.
Okay. At that intersection that you're talking about? Or
No.
just further
No,
down?
One
just-
down.
Just one down.
Okay.
Right across from Frost.
Okay. I'll help Grant do some more investigation to make sure we have the most accurate data.
Okay.
But I assume they would not demo the intersection and then come back and.
No. Okay, new business. You done? All good?
Yes, ma'am.
Review and approve annual financial
Do you want to do a
report?
motion to approve the
Approve it.
engineer's report?
Oh, I'll make a motion that we approve the engineer's report.
Let's do it.
Second that.
All in favor?
Thank you.
Thank you.
And who put on A? Who put this on there?
For, number 7?
7A?
That was the audit.
Okay, so that's nothing more.
Correct.
Consider amending district budget. Who put that on there?
The bookkeeper, and I think someone's on the line. Tia might be on the line, right?
Tia Renee, are you all able to speak to the amendment of the budget?
Oh, yes, I can talk about the amendment to the budget. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. The amendment to the budget, it basically was a there was an amount listed that was not calculated in, and so that is for the engineering fees for the lead and copper. That amount was left off, and then at that point, we took the opportunity to, correct some other items.
Can she direct us to a identification number where she is?
So that would be, G 5175, that would be the,
Thank you.
the correction, the engineering fee, lead and copper. And then, basically the other was moving some, funds from legal fees to records request. And then also the bookkeeper, we were starting to go over budget, but all it has to do with is the, again, the records request. Then on G 5230, we just took the opportunity to up that budget. And then that's it. It takes you still in the black of $206,000. The net effect is the $52,800. That's going to be the last 3 pages of your report. Is where the budget is located.
Are there any questions for your bookkeeper?
I'm sorry, what?
Any
I was
questions,
just
Chris?
asking if the board had any questions for you.
Hanoi?
No,
Okay.
thank you for the work they're doing. They're doing amazing.
So if you all don't have any questions, then we just need a motion to approve the amended budget.
What procedures are we using to do that?
To do what?
To amend the budget?
Like the book Tia just explained, that was Tia, right, I think? Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Explained there. So anytime, the district can amend its budget at any time during the year.
Right, I'm just trying to remember the last time the district amended its budget.
I think you did it last year at one point. I would say most districts do it at least once a year or so. Some districts do it multiple times a year.
Usually if they're gonna do it towards the end of the year is how I remember.
So every district has a different way of doing it. Some districts like to amend it as they have new projects or
Right.
as they see, that they're spending more on a certain category, they'll amend it. Others will do it towards the end to give them guidance for the next year. It's really a board's decision. But when you do amend the budget, now the new law requires, like you saw this time with this agenda, the new law requires that the budget be attached to the agenda, made public, and you have that taxpayer impact statement as well, so people are able to see what the tax rate is and what the taxes are going towards. So that's kind of the process that you're doing it under.
So,
I move that we approve the amended budget as presented.
I'll second that. All in favor? Carol, is that a yes?
well,
Are you
go
going
fast
right?
for me. Weren't we supposed to include that taxpayer impact statement with it?
It was included on the agenda, yes.
Or is that a separate item?
You don't vote on the taxpayer impact
Okay,
statement.
but I, in terms of information-wise.
It's included.
It's included
Correct.
with the budget, so yes, that, I will approve it with the attachment of the taxpayer impact statement. Okay, I'm not approving, I'll vote yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, everybody was
No, I
yes.
would have liked to discuss this with the budget committee before we,
Okay.
because, like I
Well,
said,
they-
I don't remember ever doing this in the previous 30-something years, so.
Well, they've made a
Do
recommendation.
you want to wait for the next
You've
meeting?
You've got the three votes if you want to do it, but, I'd like, if we were going to do it, I would have rather done it towards the end of the year after we've made all the adjustments that we're going to make, because now we've got to do it again towards the end of the year. Every time there's a,
The budget can be amended anytime.
right,
you have it amended.
and that's right, and
The biggest thing here was the amount that was not included in the bottom line of the 43,000. That was the biggest reason why we wanted to, get that corrected. But, waiting till the end of the year, I mean, it's not going to, if you wanna have discussions and amend it at the end, that's also.
well, I just thought it was something that we should have discussed, at least the budget committee, or me and Carol being on
The way I see it, the 43,800, which was not included as a line item into the budget, it's not something that we just
Okay,
came up with.
that's
This is
true. It was forgot.
mandated that
They
we must
it's
do
forgot.
the lead and copper. So this is not something that we're coming up with as an expense. This is mandated
Okay.
that we do this, So it makes sense to clarify it in our budget for sake of transparency. Why wait at the end of the year?
Okay,
We can do it again.
And I did vote yes.
Yeah, I've got 3 yeses and a no.
no, I'll go ahead and make it
Okay.
unanimous.
Okay. Okay, thanks.
Okay, 7C, resolution for monthly documentation, requirement for deed enforcement invoice. Anybody have anything to say about that?
I'm not sure whose agenda item that was.
Okay, we're on.
7C,
Okay, that's normally,
probably
normally
David.
I look to Cole to provide me or us with that. How are we doing this month?
You've received in the month of January, I'll say probably 15 or so open records requests. Well, that's a lie, maybe 8. There were a handful that came in at the end of December as well. I have Brittany Garza, who just started in my office. She's kind of being worked into handling these PIRs. So she knows, we've discussed kind of she just kind of responded to her first PIR today. I've walked her through the process. We're going to make sure at your next meeting, and before your next meeting, I'll send out that chart that lists all the PIRs from all the people since the district's fiscal year started, which was October 1, 2025. So we are keeping track of all the PIRs that we get. We'd send the individual statements out to every requester when they make a request. We just need to update that sheet from, I think the last one I provided you was maybe in December or January, or I'm sorry, November maybe. So I do owe you that, an updated sheet.
I do
so I'll
have a
get that.
question. Certainly there is the thing that you can hold in your hand as such as what is the PIR request itself, the document itself. But then there is communications that go on about that. I noticed like in your statement, for example, there's several line items where you have conversations with one of the individuals who has filed the PIR. That time allotment of time that is spent talking about that PIR, does that go on to that PIR as well?
Most of it does, yes, correct. I mean, if it's something that, like if my office has inadvertently forgotten to send something and someone points that out to me, then I'm not going to charge the district or the requester for that. But if there's back and forth in terms of you need to clarify this, or this isn't here, but I know it exists, please provide this, then that time does get charged, yes.
Okay, all right. Because like I said, those are charges that are coming to us.
Yes.
Legal costs that are coming to us on those
Absolutely.
PIRs, additional costs. Okay, all right, thank you.
I have a question, Cole, and I'm so sorry. The amount of PIRs that you get are ridiculous from a handful of people, that probably 2 or 3. Do you have the safeguard in place to ensure that you're not having to bill us, the district, for the same PR?
Yes, that's correct.
Right?
So-
Because sometimes they come within the same week, 2, 3, 4 times asking for the same thing. I just
Correct.
want to make sure that we're not overpaying, or you're not overcharging us for that.
If we get 2 requests from, if we get the same request from 2 individual persons, then, we're responding to one of them. That information's already been compiled, so we're just going to send it off, and we're probably not going to charge anything to that person, or it's going to be a very minuscule amount, if that. But if we get requests sometimes that overlap, like for example, I had a requester the other day who had a request, they seemed very similar, so I reached out, can you please clarify? these requests, there seems to be a lot of overlap. This particular requester did clarify what they were looking for and just said, I've already gotten these documents, so you don't need to spend the time or energy finding them because I have them already. I'm looking for these specific things. So yes, we're not double billing or charging, for the exact same task over and over again to the district. We have a policy in place.
Last question. I know some of these individuals are fishing for information that should not be disclosed for campaign purposes. Are you sure you are redacting any information that's not going to leak out there that's going to
Yes,
end up being using for advantage of personal campaigning?
We follow the government code of what we can and cannot release. So we redact only the information that we're legally allowed to redact. So we redact, any type of financial information, routing numbers, bank account numbers, social security numbers, stuff like that. I'll make a point and say if there's correspondence between directors and myself, and if it's just us, if it's a matter that can be redacted, it can be considered confidential private attorney-client privileged conversations. When you add in third parties into the mix, whether it be another consultant or another individual or whoever it might be, that for the most part, 9 times out of 10, that ends that attorney-client privilege because you're inviting someone in who I don't represent. So you're giving the illusion that that doesn't exist unless you make it very clear that it's a privileged conversation with this other party. And they also have to, there's some rules about it. But, I'll state any type of correspondence, whether it's, just as a quick little refresher with public information, text messages, phone records, emails, written communications, all of that as government officials is public information and is open to the public. So, writing something down and, sending an email, Cole Kanaka, God, he really sucked last night. Someone makes a request and says, can you please send that email? I need to see the correspondence. That's not really a protected email. So that would get out and could be, in your mind, used against the director or whomever, made the statement. I always recommend, just keeping that in mind when you all do communicate is that you're government officials, and so anything that gets written or posted is open to the general public to review.
Okay. Thank you.
I just think that it's interesting for people that want to run and they spend that much money for the district to have to pay. Because you already have the information, you already know it, but you keep doing it just to let people know that you're spending more money. That's my statement. You've been doing it for years. Okay, number 8, General Manager Operation Report.
Did you skip C?
I'm sorry, reconstitution of the board.
No, C.
No, we just
That's what we just did.
Okay, very good.
D, reconstitution of the board. Carol, anything you want to do?
No.
Hanoi?
Whose agenda item is that?
Not mine. Is there anything you want to change?
No. Why would I?
I do not either. Do you? Okay,
I think it's David.
that's been discussed.
I think it's David.
8, General Manager Operations
See,
Report.
it's a lot of
including-
politics.
It is
It's
politics.
getting closer and closer.
Getting scared. 8A,
All right, pretty standard report with a few additional items to request approval for. The accountability was up to 82% for December. Delinquent letters are trending down, still a little bit higher than normal just due to the billing conversion. There was 190 notices mailed, 116 tags hung, 0 disconnects just because of the conversion, and also the holidays. There was kind of a notable resident request. There's some tennis members that have requested that the Andersonville West be repainted so that the pickleball lines are not there. Stephanie contacted Cortex, and the cost for the repainting would be $17,500. Just a note for the board.
thank you.
I don't know if you want to consider that as a quote to move forward with, or
Say thank you for the information for this one.
as far as previously approved projects, There are several that are still in progress and being scheduled, the playgrounds, et cetera, for the safety repairs in the park. The Park Pro Tech to remove and replace some of the horseshoe climbers that were needing repair. Austin Sign Company did replace 2 signs from the corner at the park. Those have been replaced. There was the report provided from NRW Consulting Services. They're a leak detection third party that we used. They basically surveyed kind of the northeast, I guess, corner of the district where we've got some constant flow coming out of some of the outfall. So we've done the stick test, and there is a chlorine residual there, so we know it is potable water. Within the report, just to kind of summarize it, they did find, I believe, 5 different minor issues, like where the district cutoff was maybe leaking or the residence side. They found a small leak. We've got work orders to fix all of those. But none of the leaks that they found would account for the amount of water that we're seeing. So I'm getting with our operations manager. He and one of his leads are actually going to come out and kind of do some investigation just to try to determine. I think they're going to start at the outfall, open up a stormwater drain. They see water, then they're going to go to the next one. Lift it up, see if they see water coming from there, because it's got to be coming from somewhere.
Right.
I even reached out after we received the report. I forwarded it to one of the lead operators or managers with the city of Cedar Park, just to let him know that we were having this issue. Just to ask, is it a possibility that it could be coming from that commercial area that's just outside the district? They went and checked. They were not able to find any leaks. Those stormwater inlets, they start right at the district border, so I didn't think that it was coming from that commercial property, but I wanted to rule that out. He did rule that out, that it's not, he doesn't believe that it's coming from outside the district.
Right.
So I'll keep you updated as we learn more on that. But there's definitely a leak somewhere. G Squared Consulting did the CMU wall repair from the auto accident. Stephanie's tried contacting all of the police organizations. As far as we can tell, there was no police report filed with anyone. We believe that whoever owned the vehicle just called a tow truck and they hauled them away. So without some type of police report or something, we have no way of filing a insurance claim.
To get reimbursed, yeah, that's a bummer.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know.
There's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah,
There's
like
not.
soliciting, I'm sure maybe if we search social media, I don't know how we find it. I'm sure somebody probably posted about the accident, if we could get a license plate from the public.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure how we could obtain that information. And then there was some graffiti in various locations within the district. We reached out to the company that's done work here in the district before. The company's called Mr. Intensity. He did a fantastic job of removing the graffiti.
I don't see pictures of graffiti over deed restriction. The people that hate deed restrictions in this community.
There
few.
was that, as well as what I'm assuming were some kids had some red spray paint on some of the large limestone kind of boulders for rest benches and things like that. I really didn't think that the red would come out of that limestone.
And it did?
But
Yeah.
yeah, you can, it's in the pond report, I believe. Or
That's what I'm looking at here.
I mean, you cannot see any of the red paint.
No, there's a picture of the, sorry, Joe.
Yeah.
There's a picture of the graffiti and right before it's right there. It's right after the.
What's it, like oil-based paint, or what's this, spray paint?
Yeah.
It was some type of spray paint. I don't know what type it was, but whatever he used, it worked.
He's very good.
Yeah.
He's the one that did your CMU. It's right after the, all of your, what is it, proposals. So it's.
Do you have a page number?
Page 28. I don't have a number, but it's right after your proposals. It's at the beginning.
At the beginning?
Yeah, right after all of your proposals, your quotes and proposals.
I got it, you can keep going.
Okay.
I'll find it.
Current items for consideration is, once again, our professional services agreement. That's been on the topic for a little bit. I'm not sure if everyone's questions have all been answered as far as the two different options reducing our services for the district. Is there any discussion? Do y'all want to vote on that tonight?
I had said I would like, I guess I'm not on that committee per se, but I would like to sit down with you and go through this, because I've marked it more than once. I've marked it places where I have questions. And I appreciate you providing me the option page to see that if we do go with this new contract, it roughly will reduce our base pay cost by, I've covered it up now, Daryl. It will reduce our base cost, tell me, Daryl, quickly.
About $20,000.
20,000?
Correct.
Okay, so it will reduce our base cost roughly 20,000. And part of what you're telling, what is that, reducing the technicians' hours?
The spreadsheet here with the two different columns, the two different options, the only difference in those two columns is the first one with the total of $36,708. That is to have the dedicated tech in the district for 4 hours a day, so half a day. The last column with the $40,208 total, that would keep him here in the district for 6 hours a day.
So roughly another $4,000.
So that's the only that's the only difference between the two columns. But both of them have the different reductions of services that y'all requested, that we put into the.
I do have one. So, I don't have it in front of me, so I'm trying to think about it. It's 40% of having somebody in the office. Is there a way that, will we be able to, I was just trying to figure out, will we be able to call, or is that person, who do we call after that 40%?
Me.
Okay.
And that's the short answer. You call me.
Okay, but if we're reducing the tech, and I guess this to me is a small part of this, but if we reduce the hours of the tech to 4 hours, what if there's the need that comes up after 4 hours then becomes overtime? Is that correct?
Not overtime, but billable time.
Billable time.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
he's not subject, or whomever that is not subject to.
If it's after hours, then that's when you get into overtime. But if it's kind of more of a urgent issue that comes in from a resident, hey, my house is flooding, we need our water off. And if it's outside of, like, he's going to be scheduled, from 7 to 11 or whatever we agree upon. And if it's that afternoon when that call comes in, either he or another tech or operator from whoever's going to be the closest to the district would be dispatched to that resident to take that call and that work order to turn off the service. So that work order then would become billable.
Yes, that would be hours outside of the base contract.
Correct.
Daryl, you don't just tell them how to turn it off?
We tell residents not to touch the district cutoff because if they break it, they're liable.
Well, how about
Now, they should have a homeowner.
Yeah, I was going to say, how about their own cutoff?
Absolutely.
Well, I would hope you tell them how to turn off their water before we send a tech out to their house.
Well, I mean, it's an emergency.
Well, that's why we're saying that.
We'll advise them if they know where their homeowner.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know, because I know a lot of times they don't know, and it's an emergency, and in the middle of the night, it's dark and it's snowing, you know, you don't want to go turn it off.
Well, as I say, I would like one more opportunity for whomever to discuss Exhibit B a little bit more thoroughly, because there's an awful lot of markings in here for outside professional service.
Correct.
And,
that was part of the reduction
yes,
that
right.
was requested. So
Right.
some of the things that were in the old base are now possibly billable.
And it isn't that I'm doubting as such per se, but it is, I know in talking with you every month over the bills as we go through that is a consistent question I have with you is, why is this one required by an outside professional? Okay, if it is, label that, then we pay for it right now. But then if we have more of those, and those are the high dollar items, the outside people we're paying, and it isn't, it's just that I have questions about that.
Okay.
So, I would like to the rest of the board, if you're ready to vote, I don't want to hinder that, but I would like to have the opportunity to discuss Exhibit B a little bit more.
Okay. Anyone else?
I think my biggest is, can we,
schedule a meeting with at least two of you at a time.
Yeah.
I'd like to see if we can consider 50% with someone in the office, but that's really the only one that I have.
Well, 4 hours is 6%, isn't it?
She's talking about in the front office, not the tech.
Oh, okay.
Just somebody, but that's the only one, but if you guys are gonna meet, then I guess, are we waiting, or?
Well, as I said, that's
I
a
think it's
personal thing
changeable,
I'm saying, is I would like to go over,
It's changeable at any
but
time.
that, if y'all are ready to vote, then I'm comfortable with y'all doing that, it's just,
If we can change anything, if you find something in there that's wrong, or we can make it better for us, we can change it after we vote, but this would be a way to start
Okay,
saving this
okay.
money now.
Okay, all right. Okay, y'all?
Yeah, and I don't want to get into the details of it, but, I mean, a lot of the stuff in that list that you're referring to, I don't want to throw a percentage, but historically have been things that we don't often use, which in the long run.
But you are right, they are the expensive items.
Well, and when I go, the reason I asked to say that is because when we go through the bills, paying the bills, when we have that review week, and I go through things we go through things with Daryl line by line and work order by work order, we're going through them. And there's an awful lot of them now that we don't get under the base cost. They have to be paid for by an outside.
It's either specialized personnel, meaning the
uh-huh.
operator has to have a certain license. That is not in your base tech, you're in the district. Or it's specialized equipment. Sometimes they use different equipment to clean out the outfalls from all the sediment and things like that.
And you've had to have high-rise trucks to.
Man lifts.
Yes, and so forth, and I recognize that. I wouldn't question those at all, but some of them I go, okay, all right.
It's y'all's decision whether.
But like you said, you can go ahead and vote on it.
Right?
I agree with Chris, let's just save that, and then we can always,
We need to change it, we'll change it.
change it, yep.
Okay.
So I make a motion that we sign the contract. And I guess the question is, do you want to do 4 or 6 hours for the tech? How many emergencies do we have in a year roughly? I mean, how often does that happen?
He's dedicated 8 hours right now, so
So 6.
I can't.
If we take it to
I can't.
6.
Okay, let's take it to 6.
And then I still think we need to add, even if we added 5 more hours in the office, that would help.
What is it right now? What is it?
It's I don't have that calculation to change the office personnel.
Just, if you'll make a note about it, and then we'll keep going.
Okay.
Okay.
So are you all going to approve the contract with the 6-hour dedicated tech, no change in office hours, and then next
No, I am
meeting-
asking for a little bit more in the office.
Well, they don't have.
Or that someone
I'll get
answers.
you a revised proposal
Okay.
for next meeting.
Right, okay, we want to agree to this?
He has a
Well,
motion, right?
We're gonna defer for the next meeting so we can get the revised
Okay.
proposal with the numbers. Otherwise, you're gonna enter a contract, and we're gonna
Yeah,
terminate it, and it's
Yeah,
cleaner.
it's too messy.
and then you guys can have lunch, okay?
Okay. The other item, it was going to be a quote proposal from M&T Electric to repair the lighting at the monument there at 620 in El Salado. When they went out to look at what might be wrong, they discovered that it was a breaker, something that shorted out the lights and the breaker.
Switched off.
All right, I thought it was a breaker that was tripped.
No.
But they just, basically that monument lights are working now, and they just charged for a trip charge for that.
Okay. Hey, the solar light's not up yet.
We took it down because the light's working now.
Okay.
It was put up.
Okay.
I had him go get it.
Okay,
It's in his truck right now.
okay.
There is a issue with the generator. The control panel needs a repair. It's not cycling on. It's supposed to basically cycle on and run the generator, exercise the generator every week. That function is not working. There's a quote in there from Generator Field Services to repair that. It's $2,721.04.
So we don't have a scheduled maintenance every year to,
There's preventative maintenance, but the generator needs to be exercised.
I understand that, but,
And that's more of an automated process.
Okay.
You could forego the repair on that, but then you're gonna incur a work order for someone to go
right,
over there.
I
and manually
understand that,
start.
but answer me, are we having scheduled maintenance already, preventive maintenance already?
Yes.
Okay, and it's still broke?
It's just been discovered that that control panel is no longer functioning
Okay.
as it should.
And when was the last preventive maintenance that we had done on it?
I would have to check. our
Yeah, let's
report.
check on that, because, I'm just curious, it's not working now, how long has it not been working? Was it working during the preventive maintenance? And then it broke since then?
It was identified during the last maintenance cycle that it was not cycling
Okay,
on and
okay,
exercising.
okay, all right.
And so what's a customary, usually maintenance cycle?
Usually annual,
Do you
on
do an
something like
annual-
that,
on
isn't it?
Something like that would be something annual, or 6 months, 3 months, every
Well,
quarter?
it depends upon the process.
There's also different maintenance work orders on a generator like that. They're gonna go out and check oil and fuel and obviously making sure that it starts and runs. But then there's going to be larger, kind of more in-depth, that's only gonna be done maybe once or twice a year.
Right.
Gotcha.
So
So
when
there are
you-
different maintenance
to approve it.
work orders for the same equipment that can be done at different times.
That's correct.
And what is that called?
It's your generator at the Gamma lift station.
No, but the switch that you
The
need to
part.
replace.
Oh, it's, I believe it's just the controller.
Okay, so I'll make a motion that we replace the controller at the lift station for $2,004.
Yeah, I'll second it.
$2,721.04.
Missed that one. And 4 cents.
We are
Okay.
sure that it's indeed the controller, right? We're not gonna come back and say, oh, it was misdiagnosed, the machine didn't work, and there's something else that calls out, and then it's more money. So we are 100% certain that that's the controller
And
you're
it's
talking
the
about.
people that put the generator in that's doing this, right?
It's Generator Field Services.
Okay.
We use them
I'd rather keep it
98% of the time.
running.
Unless it's an emergency and they can't come out.
Right.
This is the generator that's being scoped to be replaced with your rehab job.
Yep.
So
Oh,
it's
okay.
not
With the bond, yeah.
entirely crazy that you're having
Right.
repair issues.
It's old.
Yeah.
With an aging generator.
Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna do it again, that I make a motion that we replace the controller for $2,724.04. Can I get a second on that?
I'll second it.
2104.
2104.
We'll both figure it out.
All in favor?
All in favor?
And then there's one additional request. It's several, Landfair quoted it per basically location, but the total of all of the repairs that were identified, they do these kind of more in-depth audits in the winter season, just because most of the irrigation systems are turned off at that time, and they're able to do a more in-depth audit. But the total of his quotes is $4,180.79. The different items that we identified were just like rotors that weren't properly functioning. They were still functioning, but not optimally. And then like some of the spray heads, the one replacing a 2-inch valve. This at the Sunchase Park, there's 3 rotors that need to be replaced, or 5 rotors that need to be replaced. There's a minor lateral break over at the Vista Via Ridge Pond, and then there's numerous items there at Anderson and West Park. And you should have all those quotes in your packet.
Do we want to approve some of that? Thought we already were. What do you guys want to do?
Well, we need to take care of it. I make a motion that we do these repairs as they are listed for the cost of $4,180.79.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? All in favor?
I do have a question. We just passed a motion, but on the generator field service, so that includes also labor?
Actually,
Because it sets estimated $2,350 actual will be billed.
correct.
So that's on top of the $2,721.04.
That is correct.
So I think we have to go back and revisit that item.
Re-amend that.
And then the notation also says that parts needs to repair existing assembly and no longer available. So I'm wondering if this is really necessary, if we're gonna
Rehab it.
does it really make sense to fix this? It seems to me like it's an actual gauge. And if the generator is functioning without a gauge, why should we be in the business of spending $5,000? I mean, I don't know anything about generators. I'm just saying the logic behind it. And on top of the $2,000 that we just approved, we have to approve an additional $2,350 of actual labor.
Understood.
Yeah.
So let's scratch it.
Jacob,
Use it on the bond.
just a wild guess, when would that generator be repaired with the future rehabs?
I mean, we have to finish the design, and they elected to remove the money out of the budget this year to fund construction and fund it via bond funds. So you need the bond to be submitted to the TCEQ, reviewed, approved, and then sold. So then to hire a contractor and get them on site.
This could be a while.
I would be shocked if it was by the end of the year.
And what kind of risk are we assuming by not repairing it?
It's not automatically being exercised.
Which means
If power goes out.
So go let your personal vehicle sit for a few months and see how easily it starts up.
Yep.
If it's an old jalopy, because this generator's not
right.
a new generator.
And when it doesn't start up, what bad happens?
If power goes out, your sewer lift station doesn't turn on, and it will back up and overflow.
So, I mean, having said that,
Now a compromise would be to schedule maybe this normally exercises once a week. We could schedule a work order to have it exercised maybe every other week. That would probably be an hour of somebody's time, because you need to let it exercise for a certain amount of time. That would be your compromise.
Be about 12 times.
Hmm. But if you're looking at having it replaced in a year, I mean, even if you did that every 2 weeks, you'd probably still come out cheaper with a work order than this proposal, so.
I would lean more towards the work order.
I agree.
Okay, then let's scratch that. Cole?
So, okay, we're both got that motion?
Correct.
Rescind it, okay, so no
Yes.
action, okay.
Correct.
Close tabs on it.
Sorry I missed that.
No, it's okay.
They actually have a habit of doing that on their quotes. I just did one for another district. Thankfully, on that one,
We're good.
It's called marketing.
so that concludes my report, unless y'all have any other questions.
Okay, committee assignments, reports. On the Parks Committee, we could probably continue this. What do we want to do on the improvements that need to be made on the park that we just heard about on the rotors and the other things? Do we want to discuss this more? Do we want to approve it? They need to be fixed.
The what, the parks?
Mm-hmm.
Which quote is that for?
It was,
The landscape?
yeah.
You've already approved the landscape.
Yeah, the landscape's been approved.
Okay, then let's go to 2. Discuss and approve 5-year park plan and splash pad for Anderson Mill West. Who wants it? Do you want to discuss it? You want me to discuss it?
You can get it started. I will,
Okay, as we have not touched the 5-year park plan in a while, we have gone back to it, trying to get some of this resolved so we can stay within the 5 years. And the splash pad is one that we are getting a lot of feedback with residents. And we would like to see if we can get a proposal to find out what it would cost for the splash pad to be at Anderson Mill West on that far side. I wish I had a way to show it to you, but there's a whole open field that is also very close to the bathrooms so that the water does not have to travel very far. But can we have somebody come out and do, well, let's first talk about if this is something that interests you guys.
Well, is the Parks Committee making that recommendation?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah, it's in the 5-year park plan. This is not something that just came out of our heads.
Okay.
So,
Well,
Hanoi, do
what
you
is
wanna
it
talk
gonna
about it?
cost for someone to come out and do that?
to come out and get a bid?
Yeah.
He's coming out fixing our park now.
Well, they will come out for free and,
Yeah,
okay,
They want your business.
okay.
yeah.
And do we currently have anything, any proposals or in place for a plan like this?
I'd like to revisit the swimming pool report.
Okay.
I just was cleaning my office and found a copy of it. And there's probably some information in there rather than, number one, repeat. And number two, you know, it may pertain also to the splash pad that we should look at.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know if you've got a copy of that.
And my understanding, even a splash pad is probably going to fall more to Jacob, I believe, because it's going to be something that's going to be a higher dollar amount.
I mean, I have no idea what a splash pad costs. I'm sure it varies by scope of splash pad. My just initial thought was, who's gonna design like the drainage and water supply and how's that all gonna work?
Now, we've talked about it a little bit, so this is not something that we're just throwing out there. It has been talked about. Can we get 2 bids and so that they can explain it to everybody? So, because it's not something that we should be having to explain how all that works.
So I think our engineer brought up a good point. So you're saying, of course, drainage and stuff like that has to be looked into. So is this something that you would work with whoever we're going to send out there? Because I'm assuming they're going to provide the installation of this splash pad, but do they also provide quotes for drainage structure? I'm assuming there are going to have to be some structural changes to right?
Either the contractor would need to design and factor all of it in, or they would collaborate with Jacob possibly on a design, or at least take their design and pass it by him for a
Do
second.
we have it's been discussed for a period of time, I'm not saying it hasn't, but do we have a scope? Are we talking like, how big is the splash pad gonna be?
It's one large pad. And it's not
Like
two,
the
it's not two pads, it's one large pad.
I'll
We can't afford to do two. We don't have it.
Size of this room, size of half the room.
Yeah, we would have to see what we have and then figure out what could potentially happen. And what would be the best place to put it, right? So there's a lot of questions.
Do you want to be there when he comes out?
You asking me personally, do I want to be there?
Yeah. Hey, it saves a lot of money if you're there.
I just want to make sure that you guys embark on a project that is, if it needs to be fully thought through, that is fully thought through, depending on the cost of it, that it's acquired and purchased, and you guys are protected from a contractual standpoint with the contractor. That's all. So again, if it's a $5,000 splash pad feature that one guy makes a small little water tap to an irrigation system, and there's some, a potable water line, that's one thing. If it's a splash pad the size of the room where we have to worry about accessibility and drainage off the site, and we're actually moving some dirt around and we need to get permits, and we're over the Edwards Aquifer recharge zone, we need to think about things like that.
Yeah, it has to have a permit.
So then I think I need to be a part of at least some of the scoping to figure out how I can help you.
And addition to that, Daryl, certainly this is about the construction of how to appropriately do that. But there are other issues that I wish I would like to ask you to consider and look into to go with this, is that you do need to consider things about safety, supervision, hours of operation, peripheral seating, because in most cases, these are smaller children that are there. And so there are other things that need to be taken into the design. But then, like I say, if these other things are additional expenses, how many hours of operation, whether or not there has to be supervision, what kind of safety things need to be taken into account. So just beforehand.
Those are things that that Hanoi and I have talked about, like having a key card for residents.
Okay.
There'll be security gate. It has been discussed, but we do need to have probably 2 bids. If you can do that.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think you'll probably solicit 3, and then I think realistically, projects like this, I mean, unless it is something very small, projects like this are in the $100,000 to $200,000 range. So you'll look at the bids and see when it comes in, and then the board can work with Jacob and Grant and the contractor to ensure everything that you guys want is involved, and then from there you have to advertise and go through the process. But yeah.
I just want to make a motion that we move forward on having 3 bids. You want 3 bids to come out and to continue the 5-year park plan, and to look at having a splash pad being put at Anderson Mill West Park.
Okay, I'll second that.
Okay, all in favor? Thank you. Okay, next one, discuss and approve repainting the pickleball courts.
Did the Parks Committee discuss, we had residents came up there, I'll use the word complaining, but it was really discussing the problems that were being caused by the pickleball. Did y'all discuss it at all?
With the pickleball,
Yeah.
at this park or over at Anderson Mill?
I understood it was both of them.
It's just Anderson Mill.
It was just Anderson Mill? Okay.
And it was 17,000, is that what you said?
And
They
Yeah.
have to strip it,
17.5.
yeah, they have to strip it completely down. They can't just repaint over it because of what they've laid down. If they paint over it with the heat
Okay.
and the cold, the constriction causes it to bubble.
Okay, but the tennis people want it returned to the tennis
Right.
court.
Yes.
So remove,
Pickleball line.
I'm just curious, I don't drive that way very often, but I thought pickleball is getting real popular and.
It
I mean,
is.
How many people are playing pickleball versus tennis? And, you know, did we get a representative sample when we heard from the tennis people? I mean, it could have been like two of the teachers.
Well, I can tell you that neither one is happy with the other. That I know from being on parks. When the pickleball people are here, they want to be in charge of it. When tennis people are here, they want to be in charge of it.
That makes sense.
And it's really hard. It would be great if we could turn one into pickleball, one into tennis.
That's an idea.
How
It
many
is.
courts are in the district?
2.
4.
Well, yeah, there's 4 courts, 2 locations.
Well, 2 locations.
Yeah.
That's right.
And how are they striped currently, all 4 of them?
They're
For
both.
Multi.
So all 4 of them have both tennis and pickleball stripes?
Yes.
Yeah.
So there's not a court that's tennis.
There's no
Yeah.
dedicated either one.
There used to be.
Right.
It just used to be this location had both. That Anderson Middle was.
Have we had any residents
I mean, it's
recommending
just a
or
recipe for a
just saying
mess,
one
you
pickleball
know?
and one tennis? Yeah.
I'm sure we're not the
That's why I
first
was
group
talking
that's
about the
been
parking.
asked to mitigate this discussion about, you know, dedicated pickleball stripes versus, you know, painting over the tennis court. I mean, I would love to just paint over the tennis courts, and when you're playing tennis, you use the tennis lines, and when you're playing pickleball, you use the pickleball lines, but I guess it's not that easy.
No, it is more difficult playing tennis with all the different pickleball.
I know, I have a hard enough time just with the lines on the tennis court.
Yeah.
I can't imagine if I'm playing with all these other lines, so.
You should try a basketball.
I do think that
Four different sports on it.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I do think that this should come back on the agenda in about 2 months.
Okay, so keep it on.
And
Yeah.
maybe you
Any
can find out
districts
what
that we
other
have?
people have done.
I can tell you that we had the nicest ones, and people drive a long way to come here to play. Yeah.
But I'm
If
saying,
that's okay, go ahead.
any other district that has, you know, what is the
But
experience? of
clarify,
having-
Henry, the $17,000 quote
Yes.
was to do all 4 or
No, just to do Anderson Middle.
just Anderson Mill? And how many courts are there?
2.
Okay, so that's 17,000 for 2
Yes,
Okay.
they will strip it and then resurface it.
with the way, so
And
we
then
could
just
do,
repaint it again just with tennis lines.
we could do 1 tennis and 1 pickleball.
If you did this proposal, you'd have 2 courts would be tennis and 2 courts would be pickleball.
I know it stops them.
This one
If it
people
was
also-
only that easy.
I know, it's been discussed for a long time.
Should we push it over?
Yes. Discuss amending park rules and membership rates. I do think it's time that we raise the rates. I know that we are the lowest. That's another reason why people like to come over here. And we have kept the rates pretty low for a long time. Reese, can you share what the present rates are?
So for residents, currently it's $60 and for.
Is that a year?
Yes, sir. And non-residents, it's 200.
And they even say that's cheap. So when they say it's cheap, you're like, huh. I personally think it would help us just because of the cost to what we are going to need to do to be able to fix these courts, and to know that we are one of the very lowest within 20 miles of here. I think raising it is,
They remain pretty busy.
it's not bad.
How much?
Yes, your tennisship membership makes great money. But you also have to think again that, anytime that the lights go out, it's very expensive. They gotta rent the lifts to change the ballasts are expensive. It's
The nets,
Just saying. But you do guys make a lot of money on your courts.
Do we have record of what other districts are charging
You
for
Yes,
similar?
Steiner's, don't you?
We, a couple years ago we did, but I don't know now.
Okay, then let's bring that up again at the next meeting, and can you get those numbers from a few other locations within 15 miles of here? Okay. All in favor of that? Everybody good?
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Okay, information management, including exploring alternate website providers and status reviewing and cleaning up the district website.
Are we sure we're adding this to the next agenda?
I think we are for the next agenda.
Okay, good. So
That's
those
what I thought,
those
but
two
I just
items that
wanted
were
them
postponed.
to,
Okay, got it.
good, okay. Budget committee, do you have anything to talk about?
I'm sorry, are you adding, you want the information management
Please.
committee, we'll leave that on for next month as well?
Correct.
In addition to the park rolls and the pickleball, okay?
Correct.
Yes, I will.
Budget committee, you have anything to talk about?
No.
Deed restriction committee? All I want to know, I'm only going to talk about it. Deed restriction committee, is everybody happy with what's happening? Yeah. Waste management committee? I just want to say something about waste management committee, just to the public, that they got out here as soon as they could this week with the ice and everything. If you did not get picked up, please let us know. I guess it'll get picked up again on Monday, but they really did try to do everything that they could, because they had to pick it all up within one day for most of the whole entire MUD district. Open Records Committee, I think the one thing that I think you've asked for is you wanted
Yeah, Cole answered that earlier.
of who, what, when, where, how, okay. Security Committee, I don't have anything, you don't have anything, do you? Anything needed? Old business?
Before we go to old business with waste management committee, I know, I think it's on your annual calendar, or at least our internal annual calendar for the district. Do you all want to, next month, put a line item in for spring cleaning dumpsters?
Yeah, we talked about that last time.
What do I do?
Well, I mean, they pick up everything now, every week. And, you know, we've always said, I mean, it's nice, but do we really need to do it?
Not when they're picking everything up.
That's what I
They're
mean.
even picking up couches.
Yeah, I
they're
know.
picking up everything.
I don't think it's a,
Do you remember what happened last year?
yeah, and that's one reason I'm saying that.
Unreal.
Let's stay away from it.
Yeah,
It was unmanned and it was a mess. So.
Nobody was here.
So I think unless we get a big pushback for not having it and give us the opportunity to say, take it out, you know, for Tuesday pickup or Wednesday pickup.
I agree.
I mean, in some ways it's nice because you don't have all that stuff sitting on the curb during the week all over the district. But it, you know, just depends. Like you said, it was a mess last time. And I don't know how we can.
If I recall, it actually incurred cost, right, after?
Yes.
Yeah, because it left such a mess that we ended up having to pay.
Exactly.
And it used to run super smooth.
Well, we didn't
So
have
that 1 year was just
we didn't
unreal.
have anybody to run it. Nobody ran it.
Nobody ran it in the past. You know?
No, we used to.
Yeah, they
I sat out here before with Catherine.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm talking
Yeah.
about before then.
We can't do that anymore.
Okay, anything else on that? Are you okay, Cole, if I go on?
Yeah, I just asking.
I'm just going to reiterate on 10A, on this memorandum of understanding related to sage management between Lakeland Oaks Homeowners Association and the district. I mean, I don't know how you feel, but it was frustrating to drive out to wherever we had to go and nobody be there. So we have made progress of trying to meet with them. They did not show. John Leone, he got a meeting, sent it out to them. The day before, the night before, they said they weren't going to show. So I don't know. I do know that our lawyer, I will be very honest, he asked us not to sign the papers because what they had asked from us was just photos. And then we got like a 4-page deal that they wanted us to sign, and our lawyer was like, absolutely not. So right now we have not had success. It's not that we don't want to work with them, but we all need to meet in a room together and be able to talk it out. Do you have anything to add on that?
They can't answer some simple questions.
Yeah.
Like, have they made up their mind what they want to enforce?
All
I was
they're
surprised
asking for
to
is
see
photos.
3 people this time. That's something in the past we hadn't been
Yes.
able to do.
I hope that we can meet again, because it
Yeah,
would be
I do
nice
too.
if people would show up.
Because she does have a point that we should be providing that service to everybody.
That's what we've been trying to do,
I know.
but nobody shows, so hopefully we can do that again. So I don't think anybody's upset with anybody, there's just been a lack of communication,
That's all I think.
so that's all that I can say. And that we were asked, I'll make it very clear that we were asked not to sign this last contract. It was 4 pages, and if it's only for pictures, it doesn't need to have all that stuff in it. So, anything else? Anybody else have any questions for us regarding that? Okay.
I want to make sure of security committee, that security that we've contracted, it's an alert always. And I know y'all have been standing there, and so we really appreciate the services that you are offering, but that we ask, please just be high alert. Thank you.
Very much for what we do. And we don't hear it just from us, we hear it from neighbors as well. So thank you. Okay, attorney's report.
Okay, agenda item 1 is the district's investment policy and investment strategies, including a list of authorized brokers. You all, in your packets, or was sent to you from us as bookkeeper, the current list of authorized brokers. You all have an investment policy in place. That policy has not changed. What does change on an annual basis is the list of banks and brokers that the district are allowed to invest with. So every year we add that new updated brokers list to your resolution. So we just need a motion for you all to adopt the resolution evidencing review of investment policy and investment strategies. Do you want to do one by one, or do you want me to kind of run through all of it?
Let's go one through one. I want to make one other thing
Sure.
to you. When you were at the park the other day, that was where I heard the people, because I stopped after, that's where I heard people say thank you for that they're here. So I just want you to know that the people that are walking in the park were glad that somebody was out. Yeah.
And that we're looking out for people that have any possible incidents.
Yeah, that's where I got 2 or 3 people that said that was so great that you guys were there. They didn't know that we even had that. So just so you know that when people were walking by, they feel good about it. So, sorry. Go ahead.
No problem. So we just need a motion for the board to adopt that resolution evidencing review of investment policy.
You want to do that?
I'll make that motion.
Please.
Okay, I'll second the motion.
All
All in favor?
Sorry, I jumped in. Okay, agenda item B, status of the district's eminent domain reporting to the Texas Comptroller. We have filed that on the district's behalf. That's something that we do every year. It's what I put into a category called housekeeping. It's whether or not you authorize us to do it, we have to do it under state law. The district did not utilize its eminent domain authority, so you did not condemn any property within or outside the boundaries of the district, so that's what the report states. Agenda item C, I added this, update the district registration form. When I went to look at the most recent district registration form, it just had not been updated to remove Mackenzie's name from Infomark. I wanted to clean it up, add Daryl's name in there, and then switch your financial advisor that you all hired, like last summer, I believe. So I need a motion for you all to approve the updated district registration form. And I'll distribute that.
I'll make that motion.
Okay.
I need a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Thank you very much. The last item, it's going to look odd, so I put ratify approval of the legal fee agreement with Coast Rose. You all approved our legal fee agreement back in 2023 when you hired us. And what you notice, if you turn to the agenda, you'll see something that says Notice of Contingent Fee Contract. And so this notice is required to be included on agendas whenever the board is considering a contingent fee contract for any services. And so it was on the back when the financial advisor was approved. And when that happened, I went back and I looked and I said, wait, our office didn't include this notice when you all initially approved our agreement. The reason our agreement, or the reason we have to do this contingent fee agreement with you all is because our bond fees per our legal agreement with the district are contingent upon the district selling bonds. And so, and in order to protect public entities from just entering into contingent fee contracts with, any Jim or Sally, we have to make a statement that says, our firm we do this type of work, we're qualified in this field, our rates are, standard within the industry, there's no relationship between the district and the board members, you can read it here. And so, again, it kind of just finalizes by saying the firm's compensation is contingent upon the issuance and the proceeds of a bond sale. And so, because you all are discussing the bond application report and potentially selling bonds later on this year, I thought to myself, this would prevent a future headache with the AG's public finance division. They're going to want to see it. So I wanted to include this on the agenda and ask you all to ratify the approval of our contract, which you did back in 2023.
That we approve the ratify agreement. The what?
Then ask her to leave.
With Coast.
Yeah, motion to ratify the approval of the Coach Rose agreement. Exactly. Thank you.
Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Okay. Problem is a hunger for running.
Yeah, all in favor?
Thank you all very much. That was a little bit of housekeeping I need to do. That is all that we have for you under the attorney's report.
Okay.
Madam President, can we go into executive session?
We can. What is the time right now, please? It is now 6:48, and we are going to go into executive session. So anybody that is not, if they're a resident, they need to exit the building.
What agenda item?
We are out of executive session, and we have one thing that we would like to discuss, and that is all. And I'm going to let Hanoi do that.
Yeah. So it has been brought to our attention as a board that we've committed the mistake of not including David Flores as one of the defendants in our file lawsuit. And so we went back and checked records, and the way that it was communicated, indeed, initially we failed to disclose his name. Nonetheless, it was our intentions right from the get-go, the beginning of our conversation, to include David Flores as part of this lawsuit.
Excuse me just a moment. I want to make notice of the fact that Ms. Fobb just stuck her tongue out at me. Thank you.
Thank you for notifying that. Very common. For the purpose of transparency and accountability, we would like to ratify this. Being open, again, we have consistently, since day one, our intention has been to include David Flores into this lawsuit. So, again, for the purpose of accountability and transparency with the district, we want to set this forth in front of the people that we intend to include David from the beginning. And so, all in favor of doing that, let's go ahead and vote.
What was the motion? Did we have to pass the motion?
Well, the motion is to include David Flores.
Who seconded that? I'm sorry. I'll read the motion. Beth did.
Beth seconded.
The motion was for
To include David Flores in the lawsuit. Okay.
Well, it was to ratify.
To ratify.
It's already been on the.
Yeah.
All in favor is?
Yeah, it's been ratified.
Yes, it's been ratified.
All right, thank you very much.
Okay, anything else?
I think we gotta get out of here.
This meeting has been adjourned.
time, whatever.
And we will make sure that you have someone to walk you out.
The three sets of minutes that were up there, the two that were approved, can I get signatures
Yeah,
on those two?
Yes,
Oh, I gave it to. Yeah, I gave
and
it
yes,
to Noah.
they can be escorted out.
Okay.
I'm gonna do that.
These are.
Yeah, those are the October.
Alright, so well, you can
Yeah, let me
those.
take them and then we'll.
Who has the November and December? The November and December minutes?
I have
You do, okay. So,
Take
leave
it.
them in the office.
Don't forget your phone.
You know, I have a rate order that I signed that I gave to you.
A rate order?
Yeah.
Okay, let me check and see.
It should be a signed copy of
that
something.
door.
Well, you can't find it?
I'm looking, so give me 1 second. Oh, here's, well, this is not a rate order. This is my
Okay, I need that.
timesheet.
Yeah, I need the copy of the rate order.
I think Cole has it.
Did you sign it, Chris?
Yeah, I signed it.
Oh, did you? Okay.
I mean, I don't have it, so
Did you take it in the office?
I don't think so.
Well, I don't know what I'm gonna miss you.
Bye.